guys, what's going on? So we're back again with another episode of Tommy versus Time. This is episode 2, so welcome back. Now, last time we failed, which was kind of disappointing, but I guess not that surprising. There's a couple of things maybe that we could have done better, but you know, this is about the learning. So guys, today's episode we're going to be doing an Asian noodle beef sort of salad thing. It's a really interesting looking recipe. I think it should be really quick. I'm actually kind of hopeful. I think we might be able to do this. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath, but fingers crossed, guys, fingers crossed. So guys, we'll see you in there. Let's go through the ingredients first, and then we'll get into the cooking. And then as always, I will score this. I'll tell you how it goes based on taste, how it goes based on ease of use or access, obviously time, because that's kind of what we're here for. And yeah, we'll see also cost, if I haven't already said it. Did I say that? I feel like I said that. Anyways, we have those 4 metrics, guys. We're gonna score off of that. And obviously what we're gonna wanna do is kind of highlight some things that I thought were interesting. And this time I'll actually try to show you me eating it, because I didn't do that in the last video. So I'll tell you all about the taste and flavor, guys, but I will score it. And yeah, let's get into it. But before that, B-roll. So with that out of the way, guys, let's show you what we're going to need. So in this recipe, guys, you're going to have 3 components: your salad and your toppings, of course, your meat, and some sauce. So for the ingredients for the salad, you're going to want some sunflower seeds. These are already roasted. You're going to want 1 to 2 tablespoons of those. And you're going to want some uncooked or raw sesame seeds. Again, 1 to 2 tablespoons of these as well. To that, we'll be adding 2 ounces of cashews. In this case, we use almonds because that's what we could find. And then you'll want about 7 ounces of vermicelli noodles or rice noodles of your choosing. For the rest of the salad, we're going to need 1 large carrot, a bunch of fresh cilantro, 2 or 3 green onions, a handful of radishes, an English cucumber, about half, and of course, your microgreens on top to make it look pretty. Base of salad, of course, we're going to use some lettuce. In this case, we went with romaine. Now, guys, we're going to move on to our meat. Meat is pretty straightforward, guys. You get some Chinese fine spice, some salt, some pepper, and the meat of your choosing. In this case, I used hanger steak. Of course, not much of a salad without salad dressing, and for this one, you're going to need 3 tablespoons of pickled ginger, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of fish sauce, and another tablespoon of soy sauce. You also want the juice from 2 limes, followed by 1 spicy pepper. Don't forget to set your timer, and let's get going. So it's time to get started, and step number 1 is get a bowl, put your almonds in there, and of course your 1 or 2 tablespoons of raw sesame seeds. This is going to get toasted up, guys, real quick, and get a nice smoky and delicious flavor to it. Now we're going to move to our meat, which in this case is this wonderful piece of hanger steak. Now guys, you could use sirloin, you could use something else, but this was on sale and it looked amazing. I was really excited to get my hands on it and cook with it for this meal. So to prep our meat, we're obviously going to want to season this with some kosher salt, followed by a heavy sprinkling of our pepper, and of course we're going to want to then put that in well seasoned with our Chinese 5 spice. Make sure to get all sides here, guys. You want to be very generous with this. Salt especially is a big one, and as is the Chinese 5 spice. This is where a bulk of our flavor is going to come in, so do be generous with your seasoning. Roll it, you know, get all that good stuff on there and do the best that you can to make it look something like this. So now it's noodle time. So in our bowl, guys, we're going to add our vermicelli noodles and pour our already hot water over there. I'm going to fill this pretty high just to cover all the noodles and then let it rest to the side. Go to our cast iron pan, which is now nice and hot, and we're going to toast up our almonds and our sesame seeds, stirring occasionally just to the brown, guys. Do not let these burn. And when they're done cooking, you just transfer these back into a bowl. You can see they're nice and toasted, and they add a nice nutty flavor. Now back at our pan, we're going to add oil this time, and we're going to sear that wonderful piece of hanger steak. All right, with the steak searing, we're going to move to our salad. So start with our English cucumber, cut that lengthwise, and then again lengthwise into quarters, and cut this nice and fine. So with the radishes, we're going to do the same thing, cut it nice and thin, just like the cucumbers, before moving on to our green onion, which we will cut into thirds, and then just cut it nice and fine like so. And we're going to grab a bunch of cilantro and give that a quick chop as well. That done, we're going to top and tail our carrot before we hit it on the grater. Now with that done, guys, we're going to move to our head of lettuce, and we're going to just quickly slice this into manageable chunks. So there you go, guys. That's everything prepped for our salad. We're going to move back to our noodles here. We want to strain them and make sure that they are sitting in cold water for a bit, just to make sure they don't overcook. So with the noodles done, you should have something that looks a bit like this, and we're going to move quickly over to our beef. So we're going to remove our hanger steak from the heat, guys, and make sure we let it rest for a little bit. You should have something that looks delicious and moist like this. Guys, it is juicy, it is tender, and you will love it on this salad. Of course, we're going to have to actually chop that up before we start assembling our plate. So to start assembling, guys, we're going to put down our noodles first, followed by some of our romaine lettuce. We'll sprinkle around some of our shredded carrots, and pile that high with some very fresh and crispy cucumber, and then obviously some radishes will go down as well. We'll put on some cilantro, and then we're going to lay down that glorious beef. In a shingle pattern if you want, or in a circle. I don't know. There's no real right way to do this, guys. Just make it how you want. And of course, on top, guys, we're going to add that crunchy almond, our toasted almonds, and our sesame seed. Finally, we're going to top with a bit of our microgreens here. It always makes it look fancy and delicious. And there you go, guys, our assembled plate of food. Alright guys, so unfortunately we just ran out of time. We actually plated everything, but I haven't finished doing the sort of little sauce, which I think will only take me 2 or 3 minutes. So we got really close. I'm gonna do that sauce now, but yeah, you just heard that go off. I'm gonna set another timer here, or a stopwatch, just to see how much longer it takes. Guys, if you remember from our last video, it actually took us 11 minutes almost extra to finish over the 15 minutes, so almost 30 minutes it took us. I don't think this one's gonna take that long. Really, really close. So yeah, let's do that, and then we'll get the end going. All right, so let's restart our timer and keep this train rolling. So for our dressing, guys, we want to prep our 2 limes here. We're going to use all the juice from both of these. Then we're going to prep our spicy little pepper here. This is a fingerling pepper. You can use any pepper you want, but you want that, seeds and all, into the bowl. For that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, add 1 teaspoon of fish sauce, and 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. Of course, we're going to squeeze our limes in there and kind of get it everywhere. Last but not least, we want to grab 2 or 3 tablespoons of pickled ginger and just cut this finely. It should look something like this. We're going to want to add that to our bowl and then give it a quick stir, and there you go, our dressing for our seared Asian beef noodle salad. And all that extra prep only took us about 2.5 minutes, guys, so we're actually not too bad for time on this one. Not there, but close, not bad. Alright folks, so there you have it, our wonderful seared Asian beef noodle salad with a ginger dressing. Nice and spicy, nice and light, nice and refreshing. Really something I recommend you guys try, guys. And of course, speaking of trying, we're going to do that right now. We're going to have to set ourselves a little bowl aside, of course, like so. And not forget to add a nice helping of this wonderful dressing. Don't be afraid to put a bit extra here, guys. It needed a bit more dressing than I thought, so I think I should have made a bit more dressing here in total, but it goes really well with this salad. Alright guys, so there you go. Here is our final product in a bowl. Obviously the plate was kind of crowded, so maybe a bigger serving dish would help next time. But guys, this is delicious. It's excellent cold. You could eat it hot. Well, speaking of eating, let's... Guys, just the sauce and the noodles, it's just nice and tangy with all the lime. We have some nice spice coming out through the hot peppers, and just all the little fresh vegetables, guys, really make this just really refreshing. You know, summer's around the corner. This is an excellent thing to, well, try at the very least. You may not do it in 15 minutes. I was really close, but it is really quick. It's really fresh. And as you guys saw, the cost of all this wasn't too bad. So guys, here it is. And this is our seared Asian beef noodle salad from Jamie Oliver's 15-minute meals. I highly recommend you try it out. All right, guys, so as you know, we want to score this on 4 separate categories: the taste, ease of use, the cost, and of course, the time. Now for taste, guys, this was a pretty tasty dish. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I really think a lot of your flavor is going to be coming from the steak that we've obviously seasoned well and seared, and also from our dressing. But other than that, it's a lot of neutral flavors, and if you don't get a hit of all that stuff together, it just doesn't have all of the kind of punch that you might expect from something like this. For ease of use, I'm giving this meal an 8 out of 10. There are a lot of little things to do. Obviously, you need to get a strainer for the noodles, you need to get a grater for the carrot, and you need to chop a number of different items. But that being said, it's all pretty easy and it doesn't take too much time, so you can really just kind of do it fairly quickly. You can cut things fine, and it actually goes together quite well. It wasn't too bad of a meal to put together, as you saw, as we actually got through the prep pretty quickly. For cost, guys, I am giving this meal an 8 out of 10. It is about $3.94. Well, it's exactly $3.94 a plate. So not too bad. You get a pretty big portion size for it as well, but that is the cost, which not too high, not too low, but pretty good. So for time, guys, obviously, as you saw, unfortunately, we did not make our time here. We did fail, so we grade our time based on a pass-fail. Obviously, there's no score here. You either take 15 minutes or you don't. So our total score is a 23 out of 30. It's not too bad. I mean, like I said, there's some issues with the taste where I think it could have been a little bit more punchy for something of this kind of caliber. Generally, I think of these dishes having a lot of flavor. And again, like I said, a lot of that flavor really is just coming from the meat and from our dressing, which, as I said, I should have made more of. And of course, as I said, we also then failed on our time. So again, while we were close, we didn't quite hit it. But guys, this is a pretty good dish to try, a solid one nonetheless. And I recommend that you give it a shot if you have the chance. Alright guys, so that's it for me. That was a lot of fun to make. It was pretty quick, a little bit of camera work obviously as always, but I think everything's kind of getting better. I feel like that was a bit more of an attainable one than last time. Still got to work on a few things, but I think we'll eventually get there. I think we'll eventually get a 15-minute meal done. I just don't know which one it is, so I'll be really interested to see which one we hit. And as always, thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. We will see you next time.